So with the Cambodian government and our Cambodia Research Institutes and the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, we've been working together for over 30 years across various issues in agriculture and forestry and fisheries. So we've worked together on livestock projects, on rice farming system projects, on cassava, chicken genetics projects currently, mechanization in agriculture, and of course why we're here today for the really important and impressive fishways work to ensure that fish can continue to provide a major source of livelihoods for the communities that are dependent upon them. So basically the way ACIAR works is we work in partnerships. So we meet with our key partners, starting with the ministry, and then our key research institutes and universities. And we also meet with local communities. And we do a lot of listening to understand the issues and say, okay, in some issues, there's a lot of similarities between the Cambodian environment and system and climate and the agricultural products that Cambodia wants to produce and does very well producing. So we look at, okay, where in what we call our Australian innovation system, which is basically our agriculture research systems, which includes similar government agencies, universities, and we say, where do we have expertise or innovations that we can share? And so how we work is we listen, we hear what issues Cambodia would like us to help with, and we can't help with everything, but where we do have expertise, we then bring our researchers and sometimes the private sector over to work together in partnership. And what's really unique about how ACIAR works is we build capacity of people along the way. So the idea is that it's sustainable research for development, so that we build the capacity not just of farmers and communities, but we also build it of extension workers, of researchers, and sometimes even government officials through working through different policy innovations as well. So it's technical, very much agriculture, sometimes very basic research, but it's also capacity development, and we also even look at policy research and innovation there, but only when Cambodia wants us. So it's on understanding the unique issues of our Cambodian partners and seeing if we can help. So something that's also really great is ACIAR, we're not a huge agency, but we can help with the research. But then when you want to scale it out and share that knowledge to, say, additional communities or additional places in the country, we have a partnership with our other larger government agency, the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade. And the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade can support development. So things like infrastructure, maybe processing plants, or in the case of the fishway. While ACIAR funded the research, the Australian government works with the Cambodian government here in Cambodia to then build the infrastructure, and they share the costs. So to scale things, we use the word scaling, to take that research so that we can get it to more and more people and have a positive impact on more and more people. We need to have scaling partners, and that means both other parts of the Australian government, sometimes the private sector, and that can be the private sector here in Cambodia, and then also the local government and government at all levels too, working together. It really is a partnership, so working together. And what I think is so unique about how Australia does development is what we talked about before, is building the capacity of the people. We don't come here and do the work. We come here and make sure the people we're working with learn our knowledge, and we share that. And that's something that, as an Australian and Australian researcher, before I became the CEO of ACIAR, I actually worked on ACIAR projects as a researcher. And we learn as much from the Cambodian people or the people in the countries we work from and understand your culture. So it's joint learning, it's joint capacity building, it builds respect and friendship and long-term partnerships on both sides. And I think that's something really uniquely Australian about how we do research and development, and that we're really proud of, because it builds really nice long friendships. So Australia's been here for 70 years working in partnership, and then ACIAR started working here in the 30 years ago roughly. And what we all talk about that has really been noticeable in Cambodia, and even over probably the last 10 to 15 years, is the rapid economic development that's happening here. So when ACIAR first started working here, and even 10 or so years ago, there was much more a focus on really just producing enough food, enough staple food crops. And now what's really impressive is Cambodia is now in this unique case where in some crops, because there's supply, there's enough to feed the Cambodian people. So now the next step is working with Cambodia, and Australia went through this, every country goes through this as their economy develops, in saying, okay, you now produce enough. It's not just a food self-sufficiency. How can we help improve the quality so you can get a higher price? How can we help reduce the costs? So price and costs are the two most. So now thinking through that with more innovations, new varieties of crops that are higher value, maybe have international potential, maybe diversification, producing new types of crops, new types of fruits and vegetables, get more profitability, and also bring more innovation. What was really exciting is at the first start of the week, I got to launch 2 new ACIAR projects. One was on smart mechanization and the innovation that's happening with the researchers, where they're starting to look at bringing in mechanization in agriculture that's using things like batteries and robotics at a small scale that fits the farmers. So the innovation among the Cambodian people, that it's really exciting, and how they want to adopt and adapt some of the new technologies to fit the environment here. So I think the future is really bright for agriculture in this country. Now we just need to get more young people excited about it and understand, actually how fun and innovative and technology-driven agriculture can be, because there's really smart young people here that we need to bring into agriculture. And I think those new modern technologies might drive more younger people into agriculture to say, actually, we can bring these innovations. The other exciting thing about that technology is it creates new opportunities for small to medium-sized enterprises. So let's say somebody has come from a farm in Cambodia, they go to university and get a technology degree or an IT degree or engineering. And now with those brains, they can bring that back and look at what's happening in other places in the world and drive innovations that are really going to help make the Cambodia agriculture sector more profitable, increase the quality of things, because those technologies can also help a lot with technology. The other really exciting thing about technology is right now there's problems all over in most regions of the world, but particularly in countries like Cambodia with overuse of inputs such as fertilizer and pesticides. So those technologies can help drive better use of fertilizers and inputs, which also lowers costs and prevents environmental pollution and things like that. So yeah, I think Cambodia, I believe the people here are really smart and innovative. And I think having confidence in the agriculture sector, realizing the potential of the agriculture sector, there tends to be a belief in countries as they develop that agriculture is not a great lifestyle, but actually with technology, it can be, and it can bring the innovations back. So I think I would encourage the Cambodian people to realize how much potential there is to work in agriculture and to modernize it, and that can create really good careers for everybody. And so to me, don't give up on agriculture as a livelihood. Be innovative and also consider new things to diversify. I think there's lots of opportunities for Cambodia to do more, to diversify into horticultural crops, and then to collaborate and work really well together to be able to be more competitive in the market and export. So yes, I think Cambodian people have a lot of opportunities. I believe that it can continue to be the backbone, and I really think Cambodia has a huge opportunity to keep it as a backbone to the economy. And even though it's going to develop, become the regional leader in agriculture. There's so much potential with the land, with the good water resources, with the smart people, hardworking people. So I think it can continue to be that, and I think that would be amazing for Cambodia and something they should be very proud of. I'd like to think that we're one of the best partners. We try our best to be a good partner and try our best to take the most innovative things and help learn how we can adapt them to help the Cambodian people. And also, what we talked about earlier, we're just so proud of that we share the knowledge and work in partnership. And so I do think we're a very good partner. I don't want to say we're the best one. I'd like to think so, but yeah, one of the best. We certainly would like to be the best, and we certainly value that partnership. Yeah, I think we had a great talk with the minister earlier this week, and we spoke about working more on increasing efficiency and lowering costs and doing things to address the climate issues that Cambodia is facing now, and to try to help them to try to help Cambodia more on looking at how we can improve profitability and maybe diversification out of some crops that have supply and demand issues like cassava, potentially opportunities to have mixing in some other crops with rice farming systems and exploring that a little bit more. But I think we'll continue to talk to the government and continue to try to support the initiatives of the government that are the main initiatives. And one of those is the community agriculture, kind of the cooperative model. I think there's some really great opportunities to explore further there. And I know that CARDI would like us to continue to invest in looking at new varieties of different crops, and the work that CARDI, for example, is doing is extremely impressive. I had the opportunity to go out and see their laboratories, so I think we'd like to continue to find ways to work on do more in areas we've worked on, and also in soils. The soils work was very fantastic as well. Yeah, absolutely. I think already, because there's an ability to adopt new varieties of crops that have the ability to withstand heat stress and flooding issues. So I think because Cambodia is really aware of the climatic issues and understands them and is doing research and investing in research, that we need to continue to do research, but I think that they're on the front foot and ready and aware, and the government's talking about it and aware of the issue. So yeah, they're being proactive instead of reactive and looking at, okay, as the climate changes, how can we be ready for this, and continuing to do research. So yes, I do think, but it will continue it means that we have to continue to stay working and doing research to always be thinking of the next innovation and stay ahead of the issues.